Thursday. I'm Adam Walsh, and this is The Signal. Today, folks, we are bringing the show to you live outside of the Carbonear Wildfire Evacuation Center. We're going to speak with organizers, volunteers, evacuees. We'll get the latest of where things are with folks, with everything with what they've been experiencing with the wildfires from Carbonear today. Thank you for listening to the show. All right, folks, so it is, we're just, like I said, right in front of Carbonear Academy. There's folks going in and out. I've got someone here in front of me with the Salvation Army. I'll get you to introduce yourself, and we'll go from there.
I'm Martina Stevens with the Salvation Army and Emergency Disaster Services Specialist.
All right. So, Martina, run me through the start of your day today.
Our days usually start off pretty chaotic. We have teams in the kitchen from 6 or 6:30 in the morning making breakfast. So we're here on site making sure that they've got all the supplies that they need to be able to prepare those food services so that we can get meals out to the firefighters and the crews right for 8 o'clock. And then we start serving breakfast from 8:30 till 10 o'clock here in the morning. And then aside from that, there's lots of other moving parts that are involved.
Lots happening. On the meals side, where are we in the thousands right now for what's been served?
As of last night, we're over 14,000 meals served just out of the Carbonear Academy. That doesn't include what we're serving in hotels and off-site.
So let's then, can you broaden the picture with this summer and for the Salvation Army and the response and the help? Give folks an idea of everything because it's a lot of stuff. Give us an idea of all that you folks have been doing.
Just in the 2 weeks since this evacuation situation has happened, we're coordinating the food out of Carbonear Academy for the evacuees.
Yeah.
We've been instrumental with the evacuee feeding in Paddy's Pond. With the Martin Lake road closures, we made sure that the 2 checkpoints had food 3 times a day. And we're also serving in various hotels all across the peninsula as well. So that's 3 meals a day at all those locations. So it's a lot of moving parts, and we're keeping everybody fed as best we can.
How do you go about doing that when it comes to moving parts? Because I know you've got a bit. There's an operations center of sorts that's been not of sorts, but there's an operations center that's been set up. Yeah. Tell us about that.
Sure, we have an on-site incident command post.
Yeah.
So our incident management team is working on site out of an office here in the academy, and we're coordinating, making sure that we've got all the volunteers, and making sure that the volunteers have a place to stay overnight if they're coming from across the province. We've got our food being delivered. We have 2 reefers in the back of the academy, a freezer one and a fridge one, and we make sure that all our food is stocked up in there. There's a lot of coordinating. So our incident management team is doing the behind the scenes work, and then we have volunteers and doing 3 shifts. So we have a morning shift, an afternoon shift, and a supper shift, so that we're not burning anybody out, and that everybody who wants to contribute is able to contribute. Because I'm learning in Newfoundland, everybody wants to contribute, so we're making sure that we're incorporating all the helping hands that want.
Yeah, it's folks through our coverage as well. We've been hearing folks have been getting in touch. How do we help? Where can we help? How do we do this? And there's a lot of people who just want to kind of be involved to put themselves to good use and to lend a hand wherever it's needed. With the meals and trying to figure out, you talked about the refrigeration unit, the freezer one as well. What's the job like for sourcing and getting all the food in to make these meals? Like, how do you even go about doing that on the logistical side of it?
At first it was day by day. With disasters, you can't plan, like on day 1, you can't put a 14-day meal plan out. So it's day by day. Okay, what meals are we going to serve today? Let's get that food here. There's been some local businesses from Carbonear who were dropping off. We'd say, okay, we're having meals for 300 tonight. We're having chicken burgers and fries. They would source it from their store and then deliver it in time for us to start cooking it. So that makes it easy. But then as our team grows and we get those pieces together, we're able to put out a menu plan, and then we do large orders. And then sometimes there is a bit of work making the meal plan, order and everything, but sometimes things fall into our lap. So like the reefer situation, somebody approached us and said, hey, I've got a buddy with a couple of reefers, do you want them? And we're like, yes, please.
And so when we say a reefer, is a refrigerated type truck unit?
Like the big transport trailer type.
Right.
Yeah, there's 2 of them out back there.
So you can fit a lot in a frozen one and a refrigerator. I mean, that is, for logistics and planning, that gives a whole lot of extra ability.
Yes, we're blessed with a really nice kitchen on the inside
Yeah.
of the building, but to house this amount of food it's not sustainable in there. So
No.
the external housing of the food has been phenomenal.
Yeah, okay. So like early on, it's like we're just making calls, trying to figure out. It's like, okay, chicken burgers and fries, get them in here. But now, what are we doing tomorrow? Oh, wait, we've got these reefer units coming in. That gives us the ability to keep milk, fruit, vegetable, cold. Also, we have some of our proteins that we're going to keep frozen here. And now we can plan a couple more days in advance because we know what we're going to have for lunch 2 days from now, as opposed to just tomorrow.
Yep, it's a continuous cycle, so there's a lot of moving parts, which is very helpful to have big teams. We're very coordinated. We work very well together, and we're able to pump out these meals in a organized, chaotic way.
Yeah, well, I find, it's interesting to hear how it's done, right? Because this is how I know we're having a logistics conversation, but when you know that it's feeding folks here who are evacuated from their homes, and just the importance of kind of working through that and planning and hearing how that is done. On the other side too, so those are the meals and all of that planning, but there's also listening, talking to folks, and bringing in some extra things too, like a religious service and other bits. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. So in addition to the food service, the main part that we're offering is emotional and spiritual care, which means that we've got trained individuals, including some pastors from around the area who are coming in every day. We've got a great team who are mingling with people. Just having a conversation, not pushing any sort of agenda, but just being here, right? There are people who are hurting, there are people who are making the most of the situation, but everybody needs to talk. So we want to make sure that everybody feels heard, everybody feels understood, and that's also the way that we know what people need, right? How do I know that you're looking for treats like chocolate bars, right?
Yeah.
So those conversations are important. So we hear, oh, they want chocolate bars, and we can go and source those out. So we have a canteen in there as well. It's a free for all. Like if you want granola bars and Pepsi, we've got it all stocked for you.
In a time of crisis, how important is food in your mind? I mean, there's one thing of course we need food, 3 meals a day, and we're in an emergency, but I mean you mentioned chocolate bars, right? The request comes in for a chocolate bar, and to know that can be comforting. Like how, from your experience watching that, how important is it?
I think it's important to have a nutritious meal as best as you can.
Yeah.
I think comfort meals are good for people's souls, right?
Yeah.
Everybody loves a hamburger or hot dog, right? So we try to throw those meals in there too. But it's the comfort of things, right? People want that comfort. People are seeking that right now, and so whatever we can do to provide that. So yes, sometimes it is chocolate bars, and you don't think about that. Or sometimes it's Jell-O cups or whatever the case may be, right? So we're incorporating that. We actually have, it's
a little windy. Your hat's still on.
We have a batch of cookies in the oven right now. So we had oatmeal chocolate chip cookies made yesterday and regular chocolate chip cookies made, and we're making homemade bread. So it's not just the food that we're preparing for people, but it's the smell, it's the comfort, it's whatever we can do to make people feel a little bit at ease at this time.
How long have you been doing this job for?
I've been in this role for almost 2 years.
Yeah. A lot of learning?
It was, so you've definitely got to be able to learn on the fly, be adaptable.
Yeah.
So I mentioned that you can't go into a disaster knowing exactly what's going to happen.
No.
You have to be adaptable, think on the fly. And even if you have a meal plan, for example, planned out, like we did, we're always revamping that because we got to take in local considerations. There's like Jig's dinner in Newfoundland is a big thing, and that wasn't on the original plan. So it's okay, now we've got to revamp it. What comfort foods are in this region that we can provide to people? So you've always got to be adapting, always got to be learning and respectful of your surroundings.
This is your first time in Newfoundland?
It's my 4th time in Newfoundland.
Okay, 4th?
And all times for emergency disaster purposes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate this chat.
Yes.
And the explanation. It's very helpful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I'll see you in a bit.
All right, thank you.
All right, folks. Martina Stevens there, Emergency Disaster Services with the Salvation Army. You're listening to The Signal. I'm Adam Walsh. We are on the large sidewalk just outside of Carbonear Academy. We're talking to folks where we are 2 weeks plus from the wildfires in this region. I'll get you to introduce yourself.
Lisa Fitzgerald.
Adam Walsh, nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you too.
Tell me about today.
Today's bad. We don't know where we're going to.
Yeah.
My sister and I's upstairs with 2 German Shepherds, and we got no house, we got no home to go to.
No.
We don't know if it's burnt. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Well,
We don't know if it's burnt or anything like that.
Yeah.
But still, like, what are we going to do from now on? Like, until this gets done.
So yeah, the waiting is very.
Yeah,
very
we need a
difficult.
house. We need some place to go with me, my sister and 2 dogs, right?
Tell us about. Do you mind talking like what regular before this? What regular life for you?
Not this.
Yeah, of course.
Like coloring pictures, walking, and
Yeah.
just different stuff than you do here. It's
Yeah.
like here now. You get up in the morning, you do your breakfast, the same thing over and over again. It's like a routine,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And tired a lot more
yeah,
than I was home. Yeah.
yeah. Because it's not home.
No.
And it's emergency help. So there's like, we were just having the chat I was just having about chocolate bars to help, a little bit, meals, all of that. But at the same time,
You're not home.
you're not home.
But they're really helpful, and they're
Yeah.
they're amazing. Everyone we met. Yeah.
Yeah. As you wait, right? Like, how are you processing your day to day then? Like, because you
Not
mentioned,
knowing.
because you mentioned
it's
it's
sad.
different. Yeah,
It's sad. We're mad, and you don't know what happened. Like, was it caused by somebody? Did it
Yeah.
happen on? No one knows nothing.
yeah. Because yes, there's been a lot of conversation about the start of this and investigations and looking to see what the cause was. And so you have that. You're waiting to hear about your home. How are the dogs doing?
They're good. The mascots here, I think.
Yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
knows
Because I
them.
saw them earlier.
Everyone loves the dogs. That's
Yeah,
it,
and
right?
they catch a lot of attention.
They do. They're really good dogs.
Yeah, yeah. So then, with your as you wait, like what will you be doing like the rest of today, and like how are you trying to keep yourself occupied
Going to get
with the
dinner.
routine? Yeah,
Go eat dinner.
Yeah.
Go and have a smoke.
Yeah.
Go lay down, and
Yeah.
that's about it.
yeah. And what are the conversations like with others?
The same. We're all wondering the same thing.
Yeah,
If we got a home to go back to, we didn't get a call, but is that call not coming good news or bad news?
right.
You don't know.
So then, are you? I know there's also some mental health supports. There's some folks to talk to here. Are you using any of those services?
No,
Just to,
no, my
Not yet.
sister.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
talked to her. Yeah.
Yeah, you talk. Well, and that's what I mean too. Like it's
Yeah.
your sister. It appeared someone. Everyone needs someone to
Yeah.
talk to.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't go with this without talking to somebody, right? You
Yeah.
got to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
And have a cry sometime, and
Yeah, crying's important. Right. And
It
how's
is.
how's your sister doing?
she's okay.
Yeah.
She's upstairs with dogs there now.
Okay. Yeah. Looking now for as we wait, right? And you talk about going through the routine. You talk about your sister. Dogs are mascots here, right? Is there anything else just that you're thinking about, or that you want folks to know about?
My daughter, she's
Yeah.
over in Hopewell. She's not here. My grandkids are not here, so sad.
Where are they?
Hopewell.
Okay.
They're
Yeah.
gone with my daughter's husband's father.
Yeah.
They're living with her over there, right?
Okay.
And they seem to be so hard.
Yeah. So you've been in touch with them, though?
Oh yeah, they comes over every 2 or 3 days, right?
Okay. Right
Yeah.
on. So for conversation
Yeah,
and stuff. And,
that's it.
And what are they saying? They're obviously concerned.
Yes, they are concerned.
Yeah.
I think they got their shed gone,
Okay.
but I don't think their house gone.
Okay.
So I'm not sure. My lips are so dry. I'm so sorry.
Oh, look! You do not need to apologize at all. Mine too, right? It's we're out here talking in the wind with
Yeah.
the sun beating down on us.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming out here though for
Thank
this
you.
chat and the update. I'm so sorry for what's happened and
Thank
for
you.
the wait, and I can't imagine how hard that is. But
And
it's
if anyone got a place for us to go, let us know, please. Right?
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, you're
All
welcome.
right, I'll talk to you.
Thank
after.
you.
All right, see you. All right, folks. It's a here talking to people who are going through a lot. Obviously, right? The unimaginable of trying to wait for losing your home, not knowing, sometimes finding out that your home is still standing, processing this as things move by. This is The Signal. I'm Adam Walsh. We're outside of Carbonear Academy, the evacuation center. Today we've got Robin Dwyer is here, as well as Scott Chandler, who you've been on the show before. Thank you nice to meet you in person, face to face, by the way.
Absolutely.
No,
Thank you for coming.
Thanks
Yeah.
for having us, Adam.
Remind folks about your roles here.
We seem to be wearing a lot of hats.
Yeah, yeah.
The kind of, I guess, unofficial is we're now the community liaisons for Small Point, Broad Cove, Blackhead, and Adams Cove.
What's that like this week?
So essentially we're the point of contact between the residents of that municipality as well as their mayor and council, or our mayor and council, I guess I should say, and then escalating up to PIOC essentially, so the provincial command structure.
Yeah.
Now, having said that, of course, we have other evacuees here. So our neighbors in Kingston and Western Bay and Oakbrook Cove, who are not represented at the table because they're unincorporated. So we've kind of taken on that role unofficially as well, as kind of being their advocate, bringing their concerns forward, and just making sure that everyone is as comfortable as we possibly can be given the circumstances that we're in.
Yeah.
The conversations I've had so far, it's a lot of wonder for the next, tomorrow, next week, and obviously beyond. Some questions can't be answered yet. The answers have not materialized as people wait. Is that the same thing you folks are here?
Absolutely. As great as the progress is going on the fire with, the change in the weather and temperatures, we're still very much in a response phase.
Yeah.
The fire is still very active.
Yeah.
Things have to be put under control, and then the area has to be made safe prior to re-entry. So there's a lot of eagerness here about that re-entry plan. What's it going to look like? When is it going to happen? And unfortunately, just given fire behavior and next steps in order to ensure that everyone is safe, there's no timeline yet.
And it's such a difficult part of it because, I was talking to a gentleman earlier who just wants to go check his home, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not allowed in yet.
Yeah.
And everyone feels that, right? Everyone will feel this. But at the same time, like you just said, active fire. But there was a difference from last week to where things are now, and then also the feelings of change, of wanting to get back when it seems like things are, obviously you just said, active fire still, right? Big active fire, put out hot spots, working on it. But I think the feeling here seems like some folks have shifted into from emergency, okay, we're waiting, and now it's the look to, but I want to check my home.
Yeah.
Well, and that's it. We're going from active to respond, right?
Oh, no, we're going from response to recovery.
Recovery,
So we're kind of still,
recovery.
while we're still in response, we're slowly kind of eventually going to make our way to recovery.
Yeah.
But there's so many things that need to happen first, and a lot of things that, there's down powered lines, down power poles, trees that are burnt and unstable that, they could fall at any given time. So there's
contaminated water sources, it's
A lot of question marks.
a lot of question marks, and it's a lot of people want to get into that. I want to go home and help out and see what's there, but we have to get the infrastructures taken care of first. And our role, we're doing a lot with the government of Newfoundland and Labrador, bringing these concerns up to associate ministers, deputy ministers, and ministers themselves. So the concerns are being addressed to the top, and we're just waiting for government to assist in that.
And this is more or less almost an unprecedented time.
Yeah.
Port aux Basques had a natural disaster as well, and I believe now we're kind of a little bit more in terms of structural loss and homes lost compared to Port aux Basques. So it's very unprecedented, or it's still relatively new ground for the government to kind of work out those logistics.
Yeah, and so with Fiona, with Port aux Basques, and the storm that hit, one type of response, and also there's going to be overlap. And here, wildfire, like I said, overlap, but also vastly different types of responses too, for how to look at things and how to assess them and clean up, and when it even gets to that point. And a question that's come up too today. I look at Carbonear Academy with the school year starting soon. Has there been any clarity on that for you folks?
Things are still in the works. I know there's a lot of discussion kind of going on at the government level in terms of what those next steps look like. Given, I think, that the Canada Games are drawing to a close, and that was kind of the big hurdle when this incident started, was, all this hotel space in St. John's is occupied for the Canada Games. Now that that's kind of winding down, I think you're going to see a lot more utilization of hotels and things like that for the evacuees.
Yeah.
But again, it's it's still like logistically there's still a lot to go through because the teachers are supposed to be coming back here on Monday, and we're all still here, so a lot of things are happening behind the scenes to try to organize that and make that transition as smooth as possible.
Yeah, I do know from speaking with a councillor earlier today. There was a meeting that was supposed to happen. Don't know if it has yet, but at 11 o'clock this morning, and then everyone's just and. Maybe we'll get an update while this show's still on, or maybe it'll be for later. So folks, as there are updates that might be coming today. We'll see. It depends what comes out of that meeting, or maybe it's a meeting to plan more discussions down the road, right? Because not every meeting comes up with we have this now, but it's working its way down to try to figure stuff out.
Yeah. But I know the Department of Education is working on that. I know there's Persalvic, so some students can go there, or even here to Carbonear Academy. But again, where are we going to put these 250 families? There's not much rental properties here. There's not much homes readily available. So like Robin said, once the Canada Games clear out and we have more hotel rooms, we can address that problem a little bit more than right now, because it's just kind of we're throwing sticks up in the air trying to grasp it.
And I think about, I just had a logistics conversation at the start of the show, right? Yeah. And so you talk about the Salvation Army here and the 14,000 plus meals that have been delivered. So then if there's moving, where folks go, how do those logistics and who's planning it, who's helping, how does that continue for folks for the 3 squares a day, the mental health supports, the medical supports that will be needed?
Now, I mean, we've been fortunate, and I shouldn't say fortunate, but we've already done a move already in this incident. We were staged in Persalvic. Yeah. And of course, by virtue of postal code, Persalvic is considered part of Salmon Cove, so we evacuated the evacuation center here. Yeah. And I mean, with that, we were here and operational within under 2 hours. Right. So, as unfortunate as to say, we have practice in this. So it's just a matter of working out if this evacuation center does have to be moved for the start of the school year, just kind of organizing our resources and kind of making that happen.
And we've, like Robin said, we had that dress rehearsal, so we know now what to pack up. We know the resources that we need. And if we do have to vacate here Monday, like I said, it would probably take us maybe 4 hours this time.
There's
or
a lot
less.
more stuff. A lot more donations.
Yeah, there's more stuff to move. We've got a couple of reefer units in the back too for the freezing and keeping the food cold. So more to move, but at the same time, you've the capacity has quickly been built up for the ability to move and shift and adapt for what all the folks in here are needed.
Yeah. And I know when we were trying to evacuate Persalvic, I mean, local businesses step forward, U-Haul trucks, just let me know how many you need, they'll be there. It was amazing. When something had to be moved, it got moved. The community has really stepped up and been a huge source of support.
And we cannot thank them enough, like just the support. And I hate to use that cliche, the village, but like just the people that we're connecting with, the friendships, going ahead, like these are people that I didn't know, but I know them on such a more intimate level, and it's a great thing. And like I said on the first interview I did with you, I wish you'd come and see it, and you're here, and I think you can see it now firsthand, just the little village that we kind of created from this. So that's one of the silver linings, at least I see, and it's a good thing. We'll rebuild. We'll get through this.
So then, I'm not asking for weeks. I mean, tomorrow and the day after, where's your focus for the next couple of days?
I think we're definitely going to be another week out. Like today's another, windy, hot day here, sunny. There's no rain in the forecast, so from what I understand, they've had good ground attacking it. Yeah. But we need Newfoundland power. We have our drinking water's contaminated. We need to bring those specialists in. We got so many things, and honestly, I'm thinking 2 more weeks probably.
So then, for taking care of folks, for the help you're giving, right, and working with everyone, and also coordinating with the Salvation Army, Red Cross is here, like for the day-to-day of just being the community leaders. What's the focus for the next couple of days and a little bit?
I think especially with the notifications still ongoing for people in Western Bay, Oakbrook Cove, and Northern Bay.
People still waiting to hear.
There's still people waiting to hear. So providing that support as well. And
because that's grieving trauma.
Oh, absolutely. And mental health here has been amazing. And the important thing is them receiving the notifications properly.
Yeah.
Because when they receive notifications from the government, there is someone from mental health on the line, being able to direct them with resources and things like that. So that's the important thing. And I know people are very eager and they want to know, but this is the reason why these channels exist in terms of notification, so that they could be given the proper information and given the proper support once they hear this catastrophic news officially.
And it's not a phone call going, hey, sorry, your structure's lost. Well, best of luck.
No, of course. No.
It's we have the resources there, and it's so many different departments that are involved. Like, we have social workers, mental health, and they're all on these interviews and calls. So I just want to give them a shout out. Like, they're doing such a fantastic job. They really are.
Yeah.
And we're doing our best. I know some people are angry, but
and that's everyone's going to react differently.
Absolutely.
And that's
a
it.
normal
It's part of the
thing.
grieving process. We understand that. We're kind of brushing it off the best we can. We're not trying to let that negativity bring us down. We're here to focus on making sure that everyone is treated the same, with respect, that they're getting that information, that if they need to have further assistance, like Robin said, with mental health or whatever, it's there, and it's arm's reach. It's, here you go, take it and go.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm just so thankful that we have all these resources.
Thanks for this. I wish we could have been in person under different circumstances, but it is nice to put faces to the
for
voices
sure.
who've been on the show,
Yeah.
and I appreciate you taking time to give us an update on everything and for helping us with the show today.
Great.
And
Thanks very much,
hopefully in
Adam.
a couple of weeks, like if we get out to Salem, come on out and we can do this again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
You
we'll
know?
we will keep this conversation going and
I really
following
hope
this
so.
through, because it
Yeah.
is important, and it's a provincial conversation.
Yeah.
And to have everyone in Newfoundland and Labrador understand what folks are going through, how they're processing it, and where things are going is
And this is the new summer reality, coast to coast to coast.
Yeah.
Like, summertime is now wildfire time.
wildfire season has extended.
Yep.
And yes, and we see where we are right now, and also we are having climate change discussions, and we'll continue on the show
Absolutely.
as well.
Absolutely.
Thanks, folks.
Thanks
Great.
a lot.
Thank
really
you, Adam.
appreciate it.
All right,
Thanks,
see you.
Adam.
Thanks.
You were listening to The Signal. I'm Adam Walsh. Robin Dwyer there, Scott Chandler, community liaisons here. We're just outside of Carbonear Academy, the evacuation center for wildfires in Conception Bay North. We're talking to volunteers, community leaders, evacuees. You were listening to The Signal. I'm Adam Walsh. Today we are talking about wildfire evacuations, right? We're in Carbonear, coming to you live outside of Carbonear Academy, talking with folks who have evacuated because of the wildfires, who are staying here, talking to volunteers. Some people are wearing those two hats as they help their community, and also they've had to leave their homes. We're talking to some of the organizers here as well. So I'll get you to introduce yourself.
I'm David Hollett.
So David, tell us about yourself being here.
Well, when we were evacuated on the Monday, I had to rush back to the house because I was at the community center.
Yeah.
And I had to load up 3 dogs, 2 turtles, and a rabbit. And I put a cargo trailer on back of my truck. And my first 2 nights I slept in my truck outside the Preselvic. Because my dogs are big hunting dogs, 2 of them.
Right.
And then I had to call the real estate agent from who we were using to sell a house to see if I can stay there because it was getting too hot for the dogs outside. So right after that, I ended up staying at the house, and the first night there, one of my dogs passed away.
I'm sorry.
So it got even harder.
How, like, for processing that and everything that's going on, do you have, I know you've got some folks here and stuff. What, like, are you talking to folks and trying to just process and get through things? Like, how is that process for you, if you don't mind me asking?
I try and talk to some people about it, and I tear up, I break down at times.
Yeah.
Because I do have my own issues. And yes, I had support, like, drive across the country to be here to help me out,
Yeah.
which means a lot to me.
This says a lot, eh?
Oh yeah.
About people and help and connection.
Yeah, because not to talk ill of anybody, but my immediate family hasn't been there in the past, and they weren't there this time either.
Yeah.
And they only live 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
So I had to pretty much cut them out of my life now after this one.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Families can be hard. We've been emailing.
Yes.
Tell you tell folks, I should say, about the suggestion you had.
I had the suggestion about talking to people, especially after the first wildfire.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people were starting to get scared on the North Shore because we've had so many different fires up there.
Yeah.
And we've had 3 that they've had to call in water bombers for.
Yeah.
So I figured try and get something in there where we can talk and have like the politicians, RNC or RCMP, the firefighters, and try and figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
And try and give people some peace of mind.
Yeah.
Because right now, like, inside the building, you can feel the tension and people's stress levels are starting to go up.
Yeah.
Especially when you're finding out, okay, well, it might be another week, or another 2 weeks, another month.
Yeah.
A lot of people are paranoid. And there's a lot of people that did lose their house, and even ones that didn't, they're actually wondering if they should go back.
Yeah.
Like, they're afraid that something like this is going to happen again, and we're still going to have the same response.
Yeah. It's the word that I've used a lot on air, on edge, right? People have been on edge, and I think that's even more concentrated here where we are, right?
Yes.
And we talk about the help that is there, people trying to have things set up to listen for mental health supports and everything else, but at the same time the conversation is that there are a lot of people there's a lot of different emotions in a big range right now.
There is a lot of different emotions, and speaking from the male perspective, mental health has always been a barrier for a lot of people, a lot of men.
Yeah.
Because it's something that men aren't supposed to be prone to.
Yeah.
So when it comes
there's
down,
a stigma with it for men, right?
Yeah,
There's a stigma around it of asking for help and of talking about our feelings and stuff.
So a lot of men don't want to go down to the hall and try and talk to a mental health nurse.
Yeah.
I'd rather, if they can talk to somebody else about things, a lot of times it'll help.
Yeah, that's why a lot of times when we talk about guys, it's that side by side, having a buddy with you to just talk a bit and do something. Activities is when folks may not want to go and sit down in more of a formal setting.
Yeah.
And because you're volunteering too, right?
I'm doing that to keep my mind occupied, so I don't start having my own breakdowns again.
Yeah.
So since I've been here, like, I don't usually stop.
So what are you doing? Tell me about some of the stuff you're doing.
I've moved furniture around. I've brought stuff in, loaded trucks up.
Yeah.
Like last few days, I've been going up and down the stairs,
Yeah.
or the elevator to get stuff into the storage rooms, out of the storage rooms.
Whatever's needed, eh?
Whatever's needed.
Yeah.
Because I know they have sign-up sheets for the volunteers, but I feel more useful if I'm out being able to go do something.
Yeah.
You need help, I go do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Where if I sign up, you're going to put me in one spot and I can't leave for 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
So.
Anything else you want to add before I bring you a couple of friends over as well?
I know it's been hard for all of us out there, like out here.
Yeah.
And people are gone, like some people have gone so far away to try and find somewhere to stay. And like I said, I suffer from my own mental health issues, and I've been talking about getting a tattoo for a long time. So I finally went and got it.
Describe it
2
for
days.
folks.
I got a phoenix coming out of the flames, and it actually, in my own handwriting on it says, "I shall rise from the ashes," and that's going to mean a lot more to me now.
Yeah. And so for your tomorrow and the rest of this week, volunteering, keeping yourself busy, helping out folks, and just day by day.
Day by day, that's all I can do. Right? And if I have, like, having a good support with me now helps. So if I have my breakdowns, at least I know I have somebody I can talk to that I don't have to almost feel ashamed about.
Yeah.
Because my one support has been through me since I had my first major issue.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing to be ashamed about when it comes to that, and it's a big deal for you to talk about it, and I think it's really meaningful for a lot of folks. So, that takes a lot of courage. Look, thank you so much. I'm so sorry for everything that's happened.
Thank you.
All right, David, and stay in touch on email, will ya?
Yep.
And we'll keep talking.
I know I got ideas for other shows.
Yeah, of course. No, I know.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, folks. So the signal. We're live outside of the Academy in Carbonear, the evacuation center, talking to folks. It's the range of what people have been going through. Just listen to David there, who lost has pets, lost one pet during this, is volunteering, keeping himself busy. step on up to the microphone. So one of you, here, let me move it down a little bit. There we go. A bit of a height difference between David's a little bit taller. Haley, introduce yourself and who's with you, actually, if you could.
So my name's Haley Poudan, and I'm with my daughter Annalie Poudan-Sproul.
All right. Tell us about what you're doing here.
We were out of province at the time when the evacuation order was given. We heard, how bad it was compared to the first time, and we felt obligated to come back to help and assist, because the first words out of my daughter's mouth was, there's so many seniors and there's so many people with disabilities up there, they're going to need help. So we had no means of coming back by plane, so we ended up renting a car and driving right across and, showing up, I think, when the evacuation center was moved from Prasalvik to Carbonear Academy.
Yeah, and I know you've been on the show before. We've been talking about food insecurity conversations. I knew you were living in Carbonear. I also, we've been in touch up on the mainland, and then, I ran into you both here. We were talking today. I was like, oh, hi, a familiar face. We're talking about helping, right? I'll bring your daughter into this now. So you come back to help.
Yeah.
What's help been like?
Well, I guess help is very, you can spread it very many different directions, but it's very dynamic. As a helper, as a volunteer, or as a floater, you have to be very dynamic. They might need you in the resource room, or they might need you in the cafeteria, or they might need you with the pets. But you're not only just volunteering with lifting stuff and moving stuff, but you're also volunteering to talk to people, to hear what they have to say, and to take the time to actually just be empathetic.
Yeah.
Because while these are trying times for everybody, stress affects everyone differently. Everyone's mental health is very different. And if you can just take the time to lend the ear to be that nice, kind person, that makes the world of difference, especially in situations like this in this school right now.
And Analia, you, when it comes to helping, this is something that's on your mind a lot.
Yes.
So much so for studying and some plans around it. Do you mind just sharing some of what your these life plans are that you'll be going to after this?
Sure. Currently, I'm going to my second year of studies at Tyndall University for biblical studies and theology. This kind of came about because whenever I would visit family up, quote, around the bay, we would always go to church services, and we'd always see that they were lacking clergy or religious members of the church, or they had to share between communities. Someone's funeral was a good few hours late because we had to get someone from Gander because there was no one else around the bay.
Yeah.
So I always wanted to, from that moment, I felt the passion to go to school, get the education, and bring back that religious member resource back to the small communities to keep people's religion alive, because it's very important to them, as we can see in there, and that's why.
Yeah, and it skewing senior population, right, for the evacuation center, and there's a lot of deep religious, spiritual beliefs, connections held by folks. And so then for yourself, what's it like talking to folks as you help them here with this, and on the spiritual conversation side of it, and for what's needed?
Well, I do believe that it's a very complicated question.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. I'll break it down.
Yeah.
A lot of folks seem to be internalizing the upset that they're actually feeling, because it's a lot of he said, she said in there. Sometimes it's one person might have heard something from someone on Facebook, and then they spread it to everybody else. But with that, it affects everyone. It's oh, someone's house is gone, but it's no, it's not, because who said that? And
that is so difficult.
And it's so
as
difficult.
You're waiting,
exactly.
And then you hear, whether it's the best of intentions or other,
exactly.
It doesn't matter. It just makes it so difficult.
And with the people that you see in the cafeteria throughout the entire day, it's just the crestfallen look that when you're speaking to them, they always try and oh yes, fine. They always try and play it off that they're okay, but you know that they're not. And when you actually take the time to get to know them and just understand for them, a lot of them start talking about their religion, just sort of flows in there, or it's their belief in God and stuff like that. Then you can see that they feel more comfortable and that they open up. And
that's because you're connecting with them. I know.
Yeah, you're connecting them.
I always talk a lot on the show about. I was just saying it just then too about peer-to-peer, and that's that connection that gives you that peer-to-peer, which is so helpful, I think, for people.
Exactly, and if I'm able to do that, then I'll do that for these people. And it's just, what else can you add to that, Mom?
Well, pretty much a lot of the historical community buildings, again, whether it was officially stated or hearsay, but a lot of community members are very concerned about the loss of, public facilities, historic, that they access, whether it's churches, schools, former community centers. So it's just, with them speaking about it, you can hear the grief. They're concerned about where they're going to meet in future. They're concerned about, the memories that are lost, the intergenerational, loss of meeting. The fact that history will be erased because now everyone's, up in age. What are the youth going to remember of their local cultural history? So it's kind of like a lot of times it ties back to the religious influence, but then again, they don't maybe necessarily have regular services sometimes, or that's been challenging as the years have been passing by. So that's just what we've noticed, is there's still a lot of faith, there's still a lot of community spirit, there's still a lot of everything, but now there's no spaces after this fire if these buildings have been destroyed.
So that's the look. Yeah, that's the look ahead and the wonder, and then that big discussion. Once this emergency period and once that fire is out, the discussion moves to some of this stuff. Haley, always good to see you. Thank you for coming back.
Thank you for having us.
And Elaine, nice to meet you. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you.
All right, everyone, we're going to bring a firefighter into this conversation, a volunteer firefighter. I'll just get him to come over and step in front of the microphone. Rob O'Brien, tell us a bit about yourself, if you could.
Hey, good morning, folks. My name's Rob O'Brien. I'm a volunteer firefighter with the Greens Harbour Hope Hall Fire Department. We've been responding in kind with our brothers and sisters up in the Trinity South Central Volunteer Fire Department over there all week.
Yeah.
We've been coming up with 4 or 6 bodies to try and send over there, at least to form a crew every single day.
So what's the latest on what it's like from folks? Like what's the work that you're doing?
The most recent updates in regards to what we're doing lately this week, we're action at hotspots. I mean, they're really into the grunt work there now.
Yeah.
Trying to tear into the ground, make sure that nothing's going to reignite when the wind turns around and picks up. So the forestry is up there as well with the army.
Yeah.
And they're doing, slugging through the woods, trying to get it all cleaned up.
So describe to me what it's like to put out because I was looking at a video earlier of it. Like you see smoke coming up out of the ground. So folks, if you're thinking of burnt ground, some of it looks like it might be out, and then you see these pockets of smoke coming up. Tell us about how you kind of tackle that and what the equipment is.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to explain to people who are not into the situation what's going on, but for anybody who might be familiar with a small campfire, yourselves, the next day you can go back, if you stir that up a little bit and get a little wind going, blowing on it, you can get that to reignite, right? So I mean, there's hot spots sitting in the grass, in the ground.
So you're digging in with shovel, and you've got a high powered hose type thing too, is it? Or? These
were some issues that we ran into early on, and the response there was getting the proper wildland firefighting equipment resources to get into the ground, because we're set up for structural firefighting.
You put the wet stuff on the hot stuff of a house.
Yes, which is fine on the house.
In the bush.
But the wet stuff doesn't penetrate the ground very well.
There you go.
So one of the big aids that we got this week was the lend some forestry nozzles for all our trucks up there, and that started to make a big difference.
Yeah, right on. What was it like earlier on compared to now?
We were through the whole spectrum of emotions up there. Everything, fear, anxiety. The guys were scared first early on. It was, it's devastating.
Yeah.
It really is devastating up there. But it depends what lens you want to frame it through as well. Yeah. If you look at it through the response lens, you're talking hope and inspiration, and I myself feel quite a bit of pride being part of the response up there.
Oh my gosh, of course.
Yeah, it was amazing to see.
Yeah, just for something that hasn't happened before here like this, and to think about the response and all the work, and to battle that beast, and to where we're hopefully headed, we are, right? If fall is coming, winter will come, but way sooner rather than later type of a thing.
With a big dose of rain now would be a saving grace for sure.
Yeah.
For everybody, still fighting the hot spots up there, because it's still active up there, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so you're a volunteer firefighter. So what's next for you? So you were doing this. Are you going back to work, or what happens?
Well, I was up here for the first couple of days, and had to unfortunately go back to work there for a week or so. My company Valet was nice enough to supply me with some emergency response leave time to come back and support the fire department that way.
Right on.
They were instrumental there for sure.
I appreciate you coming out, hanging out with us for the show too, being around, and it's great to hear from a volunteer firefighter about some of the work that's been done. So thank you so much.
Perfect. Thanks for having me, Adam. Appreciate you reaching out.
All right, folks. There you go. Rob O'Brien there. We've got one. I think we've got time for one more guest to fit in. Welcome back, sir.
How are you?
Not too bad. Talking to folks on the radio, just checking in with people here. We were
Yeah.
talking earlier. How are you doing?
Well, I'm doing okay. It's stressful at some times.
Yeah.
Some days are better than others.
Introduce yourself for.
I am Robert Crocker.
All right, Mr. Crocker. We were talking about the wait, and how are you doing with? Because you told me earlier, you're just waiting to be able to check some things. Can you tell us about that?
Well, the waiting game is the worst part of the game because there's no information. There's nobody telling us when there's an estimate what time we'll be able to go back to our homes,
Yeah.
and how they're going to do it. Because there'll be a lot of nosy people going down to see, wanting to see what the damage was.
Yeah.
And I think that interfere with the people that live there.
Yeah. So, like for you, you're saying this first bit, when people are allowed, when it's safe and everything else, but to go check things out, it should be like an orderly process of it. People can go and check their homes, but
Yes.
you don't want the looky-loos, as we would say, to kind of just the folks who want to have a gawk to go in, because there's no that's in the way.
That's correct. I think that you should have to show proof of your residence to go down there, and then the people that live there have time to look at their own stuff. There won't be people bugging them and in the way.
Have you gotten an update yet on your property?
My property is okay.
Yeah.
I've seen some videos of it. It's okay. Maybe some smoke damage, but the property right next door is burnt, right black, 20 feet from my house. But it's a vacant lot, so still worried about it. Still worried about the inside. Worried about the refrigerators. Is there anything leaking on the floor, or
Yeah, all the house stuff that you would worry about, right? Like what's
Yes.
inside, what's the state of it, of course.
And now this is week 3 with no power, so everything in the fridge is rotten.
Yeah.
And that'd have to be replaced. The refrigerator should be replaced. And it all takes time, They don't stock refrigerators here in most places, so you got to order it. So it could take some time for people to get resettled.
Yeah, in the process. Well, I know that things are taking time, and I hope things can go as quickly as humanly possible for however long that is, but I appreciate you sharing some of this with us today.
Well, I think it's hats off to the fire departments that are down there fighting. They're doing a great job, and I really think a lot of them. So.
And I will ask one more question. Kira back in St. John's, Mahoney's tech on the show. We'll go theme out instead of going out on a song, just to keep with the show husbandry, or whatever you want to call it. Question for the rest of your day then, like what is it you'll be doing now for the rest of your day? As you talked about the wait, so what do you do now for this afternoon and tomorrow?
Well, I'll try and find things to entertain myself, I guess would be the word. I find things to do.
Yeah, like talking on the radio.
Talking on the radio, talking to people,
Yeah.
and interacting with the people here at the evacuation center.
Yeah.
Trying to support some of the people that need someone to talk to.
Yeah.
There's lots of people here that need someone to talk to.
And when they do, is it just you sit down and listen, share a bit? Is it Is it diversion, or is it listening to what they're going through, or a bit of both?
Bit of both. This morning I talked with 2 ladies there, and we were talking about the names of towns in Newfoundland and Nova Scotia and New Brunswick.
Oh, there you go.
And it was a great conversation for 20 minutes. It stopped the constant thinking of what's happening.
Yeah.
And that made all their difference.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just something like that.
It was
Town talk.
enjoyable,
Compare, contrast some provinces and town names.
Places they've been, places,
That's
very interesting.
Thanks again for this. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right, folks, that is it for the show today. For the Signal Live on location outside of Carbonear Academy, the evacuation center for the wildfires. Today through the show, we've heard from folks who are organizing, community leaders, some folks who have evacuated, left their homes, lost their homes, and are also volunteering here, some who are waiting to get updates. And I think a big part of the theme today is the waiting game and for what comes next. Thanks for listening. Cheers.